And good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you are. How is everybody doing today on this 9th of January? It's a snowy one here in the Midwest. We're getting some rock solid snow coming in. Thank you for joining us on tonight's Tuesday with Todd. And we're talking about how AI can help you reach some of your goals in 2024. We're going to bring Bob in from Fresh Horizons to talk about that. And here's a little spoiler alert. If you guys allow me to, at the end of this, I want to give something away. Does that sound good to you? If that sounds good to you, say, yeah, let me know in the comments. Say, I want a giveaway. Just let me know in the comments there. Remember, it's your first time here. Thanks for joining us. This is what I need out of you. You know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area. Why do I ask that? Because I want to know who's watching. That's what I want to know. If you're watching Team Replay, make sure to put that in the comments as well. We'll go through. We'll talk with people. We'll see how everybody is doing this fine afternoon, and then we'll bring Bob in and get started. As far as what I'm drinking, I'm back on the Celsius kick. We got a little mango passion fruit rocking right there. So, and like I said, it is snowy here in the Midwest here. Let's check in. Darren, good Tuesday, everyone. Yes, it is a good Tuesday. Diana, hello to you. What's up, Chuck? Good afternoon. Greetings as the night descends. It is. It's dark here. Kids are still outside playing in the snow as it keeps coming down. Barb, hello to everyone from North Central Minnesota. It was 15. Real feel is 7. Hot tea in the cup. And Barb's giving her hellos to Darren, Diana, and Chuck. And I got you. Autocorrect. We got it there. Diana, hello, everyone. It's all good. Water in the cup. Chuck's giving his hellos. Jerry, hello to you. Renee, evening, everyone. 32 and snowy Chicagoland. Water in the bottle and unloading the groceries I just walked in with. Didn't you know there was a storm coming? We should have did that yesterday. Or I have really become, let's just order the stuff and have it delivered to the house. Because I feel spend less because I'm not there going down the aisle thinking, ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that looks good. I should get that. Hello, Linda and Alania. Hello to you. And Jerry's giving her hellos and a hello to me. And Lori, hello. 61 but chilly in Santa Maria, Florida, drinking a hot tea. Awesome. Rainy and cold. It's just snowy and cold. It's a heavy, wet snow. Darren giving his hellos. More hellos from Jerry. No snow there. The trees are all frosty. I think we're going to get 10, 12 inches by the time it's all said and done. Yes, look at that. Diana wants to give away, and Linda wants to give away, and Jerry wants to give away. Alania wants to give away. Barb wants to give away. Tiffany, hello. From Illinois and Gatorade. Tiffany's just down the road from us. And George checking in from warm Mexico, where it is nice and warm down there. And Jerry just met on the transfer sheet with rhinestones. I have done that. I will say that. Lori wants a giveaway. Hello from another snowed in Midwestern area. Yeah, it is snowy is there. Now, Facebook and Streamer don't always play nice. When that happens, this is what you become. You become Facebook user. That might even happen because we're going live on Instagram. So we're trying that out tonight to see how that works. I don't know if the comments will come through, so I'm going to bounce back and forth between that. But what you can do is head over to our YouTube channel, fatdadlive.com. That'll get you right into the YouTube side of things, and then we'll be able to see who you is over there. So let's see. Linda checking in from Texas, where it's 55. Just brought in firewood to get ready for the cold front tomorrow. Switching between iced tea and hot tea. That's a new one for me. I don't think I've heard people doing that. Chuck says, it's not snowing in Florida, only rain. If it was snowing there, that would be not good, right? Diana, yes, but they never gave what I want. What did I miss something? I must have missed something in there. T-Town, thanks for checking in. Tim's got 44 over there in Toledo with lots of rain, and he's drinking a Sprite. Curtis, free stuff. 38 degrees, 10 inches of heavy, wet snow. Yeah, it is. It's trash, man. I like to win giveaways. Yeah, you do. You do like to win giveaways. Question is, did you get your Instagram to work correctly? Restream is tricky. It looks like it is because I can see one person is. It looks like one person is in over there. So I'm not 100% sure. We'll bounce back and forth to see if it's there. Tim, hello from Barb. The shopping online. Yeah, they do substitute stuff, some weird stuff sometimes, but I'm also not buying a bunch of crap I don't need. Darren says, we got the wet snow yesterday and this morning. Smashed out all the bottom grill on a snow clump. Ooh, in the road this morning on the way to the station. Oh, that sounds not fun. Ours is still coming down. It's going to come down for the next, 12 hours, I think. I think it's supposed to stop sometime tomorrow morning. All right, we got our stuff out of the way there. It does look like we got some stuff over there in TikToks, or not in TikTok and Instagram, so that's cool. And so I think without further ado, I think we get right into some fun training. We had usually I meet with Bob on Tuesday mornings and we kind of go over plans of attack of what we're going to talk about on Tuesday nights, and we just have a Tuesday call in general to go over marketing. And today we did that in the afternoon. So we've been putting a lot of fun stuff together where we didn't realize we were going to do it, and then all of a sudden, the last hour, we said, "Hey, let's try this." And this is part of the power of AI, and I think you guys are going to get a lot out of this. And like I said, you stick around to the end. I'm going to drop you something, and I'm going to give you something that we use in the business, and I think you will all get value out of it one way or another. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Bob in the stage. Bob, there you are. I think
Woo!
over here.
Man.
Here we go. How you doing today, Bob?
And everybody in here talking about being in Florida, 61. You know what? I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I am here in the Midwest. It's cold. It's snowing. So I created a background. Thought we'd throw this in the background. I've got water in the cup, but I got a cigar to keep it all warm. So that's what we're doing tonight.
I think it looks great. Now, Bob, now I may be just saying yay and throwing this out there, but you created that by yourself, right? You painted that, you drew that, everything behind you, your backdrop, right? You did that all by yourself, right?
Yeah, 100% by myself with the help of AI. Actually, since we got off our Zoom call 15 minutes ago, I answered four other questions that were pending from my team, and at the same time used AI to create this background because I couldn't use the background I had before in the Zoom meeting over here.
Which I think if I break this down and go a little smaller, look at all of that. Look what Bob created on that. I go there, it zooms in, but another instance of AI being able to create. And the thing I'm loving the most about it is it's kind of giving you a nice little, hair mohawk right there with that one cloud.
Yeah, dude. I mean, because this is epic. I've got these quitters up here, and if I lost some weight, I think I could just go off as like Mr. Clean. But we're not there.
I'm right there with you. Eventually, I keep saying when mine meet, and then I have the Hulk Hogan, then I'm just going to shave it all. But I still got a little up there for you. So
yeah, this makes it look like I'm completely bald. I'm not, but I'm close enough that AI doesn't. AI is like, you know what, you're done. Here you go.
Right. All right. So, Bob, what are we going to talk about today? How can somebody use AI to reach their goals in 2024? I know we talked about a few different things, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much they already use AI. And in fact, when I was posting this in places today, I noticed on Facebook, at least on the mobile side, it says that you can even create with AI in that. So you can write your posts, and AI will take care of that for you. So like those that have not been using it for the last year plus, because I think it really came on strong last November, or I take that back, November of 22, it came on strong. And then now it just keeps getting better and better each day. So, where do you see AI being able to help somebody, with a couple things, reaching their goals for 24 in their business and then just in everyday use?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when it comes to goals, AI will help you to kind of take those from maybe just a raw concept to something that's an actionable plan. Mm-hmm. You could take just go into ChatGPT, and everybody that's familiar with AI, I know that there's lots of platforms out there. I still use ChatGPT as the primary one, and it's the one most people are most familiar with. But if you take your goals and say, help me to write an action plan to achieve these goals, and you get real specific with what you're telling it, it will give you an amazing it'll give you an amazing output, and it'll help you to really kind of formulate the plan, because a goal without a plan is just a wish, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so this helps a lot of people go from having a wish to having something that in a month, 6 months, a year down the road, they can see, hey, I've made this much progress. And it doesn't have to be just for business. It can be for all aspects of your life. Whether you're working on improving a relationship or improving your communication skills, or maybe you've got health goals or whatever. It can really help, and it speeds up that process where you might sit and spend hours or maybe even days doing something and ultimately not ever take any action on it. This in 30 seconds will kick out something that makes you think, and maybe you have to tweak it or whatever, but at least it got you from the blank piece of paper or the flashing cursor on a blank screen to something that you can begin to work with and engage and say, well, here's how we're going to do it. That, from a goal setting perspective, that's I think that's it's a great use of it. The second part of your question was, where do I see AI in, kind of where is it evolving to?
Mm-hmm.
I think here in 2024, we're going to see it go from being something that was a maybe a nuance or something that was kind of just out there. There's a few people that knew about it last year, to where it's mainstream and many people are using it. It's evolving so fast that that we keep talking about it, right? I think it feels like almost every time you bring me on, in one capacity or another, we're talking about how AI is impacting our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned that that with Facebook. The interesting part is that AI has been in our lives unbeknownst to us, because it hasn't been a consumer facing product, but it's probably been in our lives for at least 5 years. Some might argue 10. And what I mean by that is, if you have a smartphone and you've used it for predictive tech, and you use the predictive text on it, that's AI, right?
Yeah.
It's a rudimentary part of it, but it's evolving. Where is it going? My belief is that within the next 5 years, it will replace most computer-based jobs and start to really touch on those physical jobs as well. I mean, you've got factories coming online in Asia and other parts of the country that are producing humanoids that are there. And this is not sci-fi stuff. This is real. They're going to make millions of these things, and they're going to be able to do the basic tasks that we as humans do. So I believe that if we're not keeping up with it and in figuring out how to incorporate it into our businesses and into our lives, we're going to get passed by. And there's going to be millions and millions and millions of people that are passed by. But for those of us that can have a vision and engage, we position ourselves to reap some huge rewards. Because AI won't replace everything, but what it's going to do is the people that are using AI are going to leapfrog ahead of everybody else. You're going to get to a point where, I really believe you're going to get to a point where businesses are going to hire somebody to govern the AI.
Yeah.
Right. There'll be a whole new set of positions where people are governing the system, not just doing the task of the company anymore. So you really have to think differently, because there aren't many things that can't be replaced with technology. Even embroidery, right? Let's get into something where how detailed it is. Well, sure, when there's a screw up, you sew your shirt together, that's it more often than not. That's a human error. Where if you have a humanoid and you train it correctly, it can actually eliminate a lot of those errors. Because it'll be able to load a frame, put the frame in the machine. all of those types of things, let alone all this digital stuff that we do every day, whether it's answering customer service calls or creating content for your social media, websites, etc. There are a lot of physical jobs that are going to be impacted. Not tomorrow. That's all the digital stuff. Tomorrow is the digital stuff. But we're talking 5-10 years down the road, where we're going to see a significant change in the way our economies work.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You were talking, AI, 5-10 years. I think, it's been longer the more we think about it. A simple thing of AI that everybody uses, wouldn't that be spell check? You hit the button, it checks to make sure that everything is spelled correctly. It gives you
Yeah.
those other options for things. So, we've been using it and not realizing it with a lot of different things. And this is a simple way to explain it. If you look at how technology, and this is what AI is, it's technology and how it can change and improve things. I mean, just in my short lifetime, when I was in grade school, we were still writing out papers and then using a typewriter. I was in high school, I was in our last typing class. Like when we were done with the typing final, they took that out and they brought in computers. And so, from writing to typing to computer, that's a natural progression. So it made us more efficient, it made us faster. We're able to do more things in less time because of that technology. And that's what AI is. It allows you to do more with less. And
Yeah.
it's something that if you're not in front of it, you're not there with it, then your competitors are going to be there with it, and they're going to be the ones that pass you by. Now, is AI for everything and everybody at this stage? No, there's still things that need to be done with it to make it a little better, but everybody in every business can use it and benefit from it. So it's not something to be scared of. It's something to really take into account what it can do for you. And just like with everything, it can be used for the greater good or the greater evil. That this thing that goes for everything. That there's pluses and minuses to it all. And while some people may feel that it is the worst thing ever and it's going to ruin a lot of jobs, hey, we went through this before, with the advent of computers in general, with machinery in general. Everything is replaceable, and this is something that it is going to change it. But at the end of it, while that operator may not be there anymore, you're going to need somebody that still is going to fix the machine. You're going to need somebody that's still to program it. So while there may, on the design side of things, the artist may not be there in that sense of it, but you're going to have prompters, right? That's going to be the job. Is I'm a prompt creator. This is where I'm at with it. So I think if you're not ready for it yet, you really need to step up and be ready for it, because it's here, and there's tons of people using it, and there's tons of different people that are creating a really good living doing it. And so I think it's something that if you're not doing, you're missing out on it.
100%. One of the hottest careers right now is being a prompt creator for all these different platforms. People that figure out how to create the prompts to make AI work, right? Because if you guys have ever heard the term GIGO, or garbage in, garbage out,
Mm-hmm.
This is that on a huge scale, right? You want it to write a letter to your lover, right? And if you don't put in the right stuff, you'll get some really wacky stuff out of it. So it's about learning how to use that, and the people that do, I mean, it's becoming a business in and of itself, and certainly a career path, at least for the short term for a bunch of people. Just kind of looking at some of these comments, it's interesting because we don't see how fast it's moving. But 3 years ago, when I sold my lawn care company, I had been fortunate enough to be invited to Toro World headquarters, and I talked with the CEO and the head of product development, and I said, we've got companies like Husqvarna and Bosch that have residential size mowers that are essentially AI driven at that point. They weren't like they are in today's market. And I said, where are you guys? And they're like, it's not on the radar yet. And I'm like, I was blown away. Here's like one of the top companies doing it. Well, earlier this summer, or this past summer here in 23, I was going down the road, and I saw a lawn care company, and I saw a mower just like what we used to use, a different brand. I think this one was an Exmark brand, and it was operating 100% autonomously mowing a commercial property. So when you go from, and the reason I mentioned it was Exmark is owned by Toro. So they went from not being on the radar, and I fully believe them. I mean, this was a very open discussion. I had further discussions with the head of R&D afterwards, and they said to start the process, it was going to take them about $20 million to begin to move towards that. They already had golf, AI powered golf mowers and that. So when you think you can take something that is, think about how complex it is to mow, right? And then mow at scale, and be able to develop that type of technology that it can be deployed in a real life scenario. I mean, I've witnessed it firsthand. It will affect everything. Mm-hmm. It's not a matter of if, but when. I apologize. It's not the cigars that makes me cough. I'm fat, and I don't drink enough waters. That's what the doctors tell me. It might be the cigars, but I don't know.
As you're talking, about technology and that, and how Toro did that, another one that comes to mind is Nokia. When you look at 20 years ago, they were the phone manufacturer. They were it where you wanted to be. And they did not stay on the smartphone side of things. And now look at them, like they were it. Everybody wanted the Nokia. I think it was the 8180, the 8120. That's what everyone wanted, and that's what everyone had. And they were the big dog in it. And then when smartphones came along, they didn't really get into that. So it's not that they didn't do anything wrong. It was just they didn't just go with the technology that was there and kept up on it, and they were passed over. And so that's the same thing now, where you need to stick up with that technology, know what's out there, and do it. Now, for our industry, with what we do, what are some ways, because we talked about goals last week with people on, what they want to do with it. How can AI help us reach some of those goals? What are your thoughts on things that people can use AI to do to either, keep track of their goals, to accomplish their goals, to set those goals? Where do you think it all falls into that?
Yeah. Well, let's take a pretty common goal that a lot of us business owners have at this time of year, and that's to grow our companies, right? Mm-hmm. Well, here's a couple of different ways that AI can impact that and help you to grow your company. And here's the cool part: without adding staff.
Yes.
Right. So let's preface it with that, because this can be done with adding staff as well. But let's say we're not going to add staff. More and more people are learning that you can increase communication with the use of AI because you can create more content. So let me walk through a couple of scenarios here. One is you get more clients when you consistently post on all the different social media platforms, right? Mm-hmm. So, and Todd, I mean, you're a great example of this. You've had videos that you've posted that have blown up, that have gotten all sorts of views, and that when you start to use AI for content creation, you can speed up that process from, hey, I know I need to post on social, to, hey, I just scheduled a month's worth of content in 3 hours. That's one way you can use AI. And when you use a platform like Fresh Horizons, it's all built into it, right? So you can sit down, or you can to kind of pre-lead the topic we'll have next month. You can have one of your VAs go in and create the content, and then you just approve it. So that's one way. Mm-hmm. Another is you can use this is so big and it's so simple, but having a live chat bot on your website to answer the questions when you're not available. And I'm not meaning, hey, what are my hours through conditional logic you come up with, and it says, well, we're open from 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm meaning that somebody's like, hey, do you make business cards? Excuse me. Do you make business cards? Sure. And then the AI can step in and say, yes, we make business cards, and begin to ask those questions that you would normally ask in a sales process. And in our situation, the way we have it working is that you'll get a couple of those questions out there, and then it'll prompt you to schedule an appointment with us.
Gotcha. So like you're saying on this, we could put something on a website. So we have our current website that's here, and so one of the questions that people get asked, especially in the apparel thing, is I need a shirt, right? That's the basic question. Hey, how much for a shirt? And we all know that there's more into that. So are you saying that we could create that basic framework of, okay, what style of shirt, what color of shirt, how many, what kind of design? So we could add something like that in there, and AI would take care of that and filter all of it, give them all the answers that we would normally give, and basically free us up. So they'd be in essence another employee that'd be taking care of those little tasks like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen this done in a couple of different situations. We've worked with a couple of other clients in this capacity, not so much for a shirt, but other very detailed type things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of training the bot. It's a matter, and in our platform, it's super easy. It's incredibly easy actually. But when you start to do that, and you get it to, is it going to work great the first time? No, I promise you're going to be frustrated with this thing. But guess what? You're going to be frustrated with that $30,000 to $50,000 employee that you're paying that's screwing stuff up too. Right.
Well,
so,
as I say, and like you said with this, it's basically garbage in, garbage out. If you don't give it the right information, because it's only going to give the information that you give it, and so you'll learn with it. It's just like everything else. It's like training that employee that you're gonna, is going to screw up. That's going to take time to do it, and you got to work through it. And with this, it's that same way. You realize what works, what doesn't work, what you need to do with it, and the more you do it, the better it'll get.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't take a long time, right? We're talking like, how long does it take to train it? Minutes, hours? It's so intuitive, at least with our system. And I think there's other systems out there that are relatively intuitive as well. But all of a sudden, you now, like, think about this. You can put a simple widget on your website that when people come there and you're not able to answer everything, and I'll explain another piece as well that coincides with this, but you can get people to answer, or you can help people with answering those basic questions, and then encourage them to schedule a meeting with you. So then when you hop on a call, whether it's a phone call, which is still really, really important. We're still humans, right? Mm-hmm. AI might be doing a lot of this stuff, but when you pick up the phone or you hop on a Zoom and you have a meeting with somebody, and you've already covered all the basics, you're going in to build that relationship and basically get an order. Because the basic stuff has been done. They're not going to book an appointment with you if they're not serious.
Right.
So it really helps you to leverage your time. And again, you're doing it without hiring more staff. It's just, I like to call it a force multiplier. I think that's one of the best terms for it right now, is it's a force multiplier.
Well, you said something that made a whole lot of sense there, and I'm going to hit on that real quick. Is you said saving time, right? And here's something else to consider. Is once you have something like this installed on your website, you have a chat bot that is going to be able to carry on those conversations. That chat bot never gets sick, never takes a day off, works morning, noon, night, holidays, weekends, middle of the night, it's always there to work because that's what it's programmed to do. So something like that, I know we've had plenty of requests in the middle of night for things, after hours, before hours. And so, you try and catch up on that. Where here's the thing with it. And at the end of it, what you're trying to do is either get them to, fill out a form to get that hot lead of here's everything. Hey, yeah, this sounds good. All right, now next, go here, fill this out, and then we can have a representative get with you on it. So you've already got all the information. You're able to do that with it. You're able to set up those calls. You're able to get rid of a lot of the meaningless questions. And I won't say dumb questions because there is no dumb questions, but what it is it takes time away from you. So installing a simple chatbot on your website is going to free up a lot of time for you. So what does that do? Create more time. It allows you to get those goals that you want to be able to do. So AI is able to help you do that by just installing something simple on there. Now, something that I think a lot of people really sleep on is, email marketing. So Bob, how do you think that AI could help somebody with email marketing?
Incredibly. It's a game changer. So you guys all know me as a marketing guru on here, whether you believe everything I say or not. But Todd brings me in because of my knowledge in marketing. Midway through owning the lawn care company, I realized that to grow, we had to be able to start to engage with those existing customers and bring more customers in. In one of the cheapest tools to do that with was email. Although I was incredibly, I couldn't engage with it because I was afraid of it. Right? Yeah. I didn't know how to say something or to write very well, and I was afraid I was going to come across sounding like a third grader, right? Mm-hmm. And when these tools started to kind of come out, and we were able to, back then we were creating templates, and I could kind of massage that template to solve for some of that and get it to where it sounded pretty good. And then as we got into this industry, all the technology started to come to life. Mm-hmm. And it took a guy that was I don't want to say terrified, but certainly scared, because I was afraid if I say something, people see me as a business owner, and if I say something that sounds incredibly dumb, I would just feel like I had this weird hang up about it.
Yeah.
What AI has enabled me to do is to sound like I've been writing for my entire life. Mm-hmm. and to create great, compelling content that works. When I saw in our own email campaigns, I saw our open rates go from 15, 18, 19% to 40, 50%, because all of a sudden we using AI, I learned how to write subject lines that would cause people to click and open the email. Mm-hmm. And then to easily be able to say, well, I want to write an email about a shirt promotion that we have, and I will write this as, here's how I do it. I will literally take and start writing an email as if I would normally write it, so it sounds really bad, and then I will take that email that I've written, and I'm like, oh, this is great, and I will take it over to ChatGPT and paste it in and use a prompt to say, write in this sound, do this, and all of a sudden I get something that's really effective, where we get people engaging with it and spending money with us because of it. And so I think when a person like me who's intimidated, that's probably the best way to say it, who's intimidated with this technology and can use it and get good results, then anybody can. And that's the beauty of the tool, is it's not like you have to go out and be a wordsmith anymore.
Right.
You can, because it's so good that when you use the right prompt, and it can create something that is engaging with people and really pulls at, at the emotion to get them to do something, man, that's powerful. And I could never do that before. I am not wired like that. I'm much more of a to B. Don't drop down and go to G first or something like that. It's A to B. That was it.
I'm right there with you, Bob.
Really slow
for us, I'm not the best at grammar and English in general, and I do my best with it, but sometimes I don't make a whole lot of sense. And one of the things that I really love about AI is that, especially with working with something like ChatGPT, is maybe I'm not going to use everything that it spits out, but it sure as hell gives me a great starting point. Like, oh, I like this, but I would change this. I like this. And I think that's a huge part of it, is it at least gets you started. It gets you over those stumbling blocks. It gives you that firm starting point, and you can change the things. Hey, I like this, or this. I don't like this and this and this. And I think that's where a lot of people, in fact, I know that's where a lot of people get hung up at, is the whole prompt side of it. So maybe just go in real quick. Can you tell people what a prompt is and where that falls in line on the AI side of things?
Yeah. So that's a great question. A prompt is the instructions that you're giving your AI tool to create the content of whatever it is you want. Let me paint a picture, right? Okay. Let me give you an example. So let's see here. Is it possible for me to share a screen?
Yeah, if you go right there to the bottom where it says present, and you can hit that button, and then right below that it's sharing. And while Bob's doing that, let me go ahead and give you guys something. I said, hey, you stick around to the end, and we're gonna give you something, right? We're gonna do a giveaway. So here's what we're gonna do: is at the end of this, when we're all said and done, we are going to give you a link over to our Better with Marketing site, and on there, fill out the information. We're going to give you the prompt that we use. It's a great master prompt to get you started in the world of AI. It's going to, a couple of the things that it's going to do that I really like about it is it gives you that fresh base for it, right? It's going to give you that open-ended things. So it's going to, tell you what to do. And if you have any questions with it, we'll get it there. But it's a good, solid base prompt to go from it. And then with that, we're also going to give you some ways to, communicate with ChatGPT. There's about 10 things in there that you're able to do with it. So we're going to give that to you free. All you got to do is head over to the website, put in your information, and it'll be emailed over to you. Now, with that, I will tell you that here within the next week, there are going to be some upsells on it. And what are those upsells, you ask? Well, we're giving you that basic prompt that goes through it. But we've got a pretty big library of prompts that we use across various things. So there's going to be, here's part of the prompts, here's some of the prompts, and then the entire prompt library. And so this is something that Bob and I, about an hour and 15 minutes before the show, said, hey, what if we do something like this? So using AI, using the tools that we're talking about here, we're able to create the landing page, get the email sequence down, get everything in there for you. And we were able to do that with AI in, a matter of minutes, really. It was about an hour between it all. And then after this, it'll be part of the upsell chain of here's things that you can get, where you can get some of our prompts, all of our prompts, our entire prompt library, that anytime we do new ones that we put in there. So that is what's coming here in the next week. We'll have that. But tonight, we'll be able to get you those links. Once you click and fill out info, guess what? You're going to get a good base prompt for you to get started with. So I think that's all of a deal in itself right there. We're giving a free prompt of what we use.
Well, we both spent a bunch of money to acquire that. So
and we did. And that's something that I have told you guys, since we've been doing this, what now, 6 years, is that I've spent thousands on courses, went to, seminar after seminar, in-house trainings, in-person trainings, conferences, and anytime that I'm able to, take knowledge from that and share it, I'm going to for it. And this is one of those instances where, I'm in an AI marketing training, and me and Bob sat in on one 2 weeks ago, and man, we both were kind of thinking, man, maybe we should just go ahead and sign up and take this course. But it's like a $10,000 course. Not sure if I'm ready for that quite yet, but hey, if I sell enough of these prompts, you guys are going to pay for a course, and I'm going to turn around and have more information for you. So it's going to go hand in hand with it.
That's so true. But to kind of answer the question of what is a prompt, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you don't see everything I have on here, but see if I can do this correctly. And perfect. So far, so good. All right. So hopefully you guys are seeing my
See it right
my
there?
screen.
Yep,
So
you can see it on there. So
this
what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that. I'm going to take us off the screen and make that large, so that way there it is for it.
okay. So I started with this. This is how, like literally 5 minutes before this meeting started, I was creating a background because, like I said, it's cold and snowy here. I want to feel warm. um, so here's what I did. I put in create a high resolution image of a beach with palm trees that can be used as a background for Zoom meetings. This is what it created for me. And if you look at this, it even included the little Zoom. If you guys are familiar with Zoom meetings, it included the little Zoom icons. Well, I didn't actually want the Zoom icons. So I went back to it and said, create a high resolution picture of a beach with palm trees, crashing waves, and blue skies with a few clouds. And this is what it created for me. Now, we could refine it from there. You can do a lot of different things, but for a super short prompt that was just kind of a quick, hey, I need something right away, wasn't ultra particular about it. It created this, and this is what you see behind me right now. So it's just simply instructions to cause the system to create an output. Now, the key to it is knowing how to instruct it to create the exact output that you want. And sometimes you're going to do a little bit of trial and error, but with the advent of prompts and people that are either selling prompts or giving them away or whatever, you really speed up that knowledge set where you could spend months or, well, I won't say months, you could spend hours and hours figuring out how to create prompts to create that stuff. Or you can, you can just acquire those prompts and use them. But that's all it is. It's just instructions that are designed to create a specific output. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back. There we go.
There you are. You're back.
So that's the it's prompts take and reduce or eliminate the learning curve.
Yeah.
When you can take, especially the one that we're giving away tonight, when you take that and you just fill in the blanks and plug it in, it works. I've used since we got that, I've used it probably a dozen different times for different clients to create all kinds of things. I've got a financial planner that we're working with that he wanted to know how can we do this. I've got a client that owns a gym that wanted to create an email campaign talking about the benefits of health and stuff like that. And we can all look at me and know, and I'm not writing anything about positive health right now. Okay, I learned the other night that the benefit of being fat is I don't have to go to the grocery store when when it snows. You just live off a little bit of reserve. But so the benefit of the prompts is that it's going to give you a structured way to get AI to perform the way you want it to. And you can use these in ChatGPT or any of the other platforms out there. There's several good ones out there. And it's growing. But does that help answer that question? I saw a bunch of comments kind of coming through about that. Does that help answer that question for you guys?
I think it 100% does. Now, Bob, why we've got a little time here left. So we talked about having the chatbot on our website. We talked about using it for email marketing and setting up some prompts with inside of ChatGPT. Any other, we've been got two. You had a third one that somebody could use AI to help them reach their goals in 24 with?
Yeah. We didn't talk a lot about this one, but this one we use all the time. And that same chatbot that is operating on our website now answer. There's going to be two pieces to this. Okay. One is you can deploy that, at least through our system. You can deploy that on all of your social media channels, right? So you can deploy it for your Facebook messages, your Google Business Profile messages, and your text messages through our platform. So, for example, we get people that text us all the time. A lot people. That's how people like to communicate, right? I know that a phone is really powerful because you get inflection and you can understand. You can kind of read between the lines, but because so many people communicate via text, whether it's email or whether it's a text message, social media, Google, whatever, this tool helps to solve for those times when we're not available, whether it's after hours or even like maybe we're all just busy. We're doing the function of the company at that time. It'll step in and be able to answer those queries or answer those inquiries. So that's one. Number two is, and this is some of the cutting edge technology that is not completely readily available, but I think in the next 6 months, you're going to see it become very, very popular. And that's where it's what I call voice AI.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where you can have, let's say you're doing a sales campaign and you want to reach out to all of the local businesses around your shop and say, hey, we do embroidery or we do screen printing or signs or whatever. You can preload a bunch of phone numbers into your system and have AI call with voice that is damn near human-like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally getting better by the month. I've been watching this for the last 6 months or so, and it's wild how good this is. It's so effective that Tesla has used it to actually close deals,
Mm-hmm.
right? Apple has used it. So you're going to see that come out and become a very mainstream tool that's going to help people with that human interaction and be a huge force multiplier. It can be used, like I said, in a sales campaign, but it can be used for answering the phone in a lot of those basic queries. And when it gets to a certain point, you can have it handed off to a person that's ready to take that call if necessary. So it's incredibly powerful, and that's the latest technology that I'm aware of that's coming. And like I said, it's out now. There's a couple companies doing it. It's incredibly expensive. One company, I think they're at $45,000 a year right now for this technology. But you will see it become mainstream in the next 6 to 12 months tops.
I 100% see that. I see it in voice and video. I see it where I've seen a good handful of them is in the creation of content, and it's all AI generated. And with that, it's one script, and here it is in English. And then I hit the button, and here I am in Spanish, and here I am in pick a language, and it just goes ahead and does it for it, and everything matches up. So being able to do things like that. Now, Bob, one thing that you said, and I just want to get clarification on it. So somebody signs up for our marketing service. Are you saying that, like, with these messages, it's almost like a master switchboard? Like everything comes into one spot, and then that person answers it. So if they have a message come in on Instagram or Facebook or through the website, that it's able just to go ahead and do the same thing for them?
Yeah. So I call it the universal inbox because it takes all of those different channels that people are trying to communicate with you through and pushes it into either one app on your phone or one app on your PC or laptop, whatever. Yep. So one central inbox, and and it handles everything from email, text, phone calls, social media communication, Google Business Profile, pretty much everything that outside of smoke signals, we haven't mastered that one yet. But outside of, if it's digital, it can be captured through that universal inbox. So then you can respond in without having to think, oh geez, like how many times have you guys had this happen where you're sitting on your phone and somebody messages you and you get a notification and it's like, all right, it's Business Suite. Okay, where do I go to? Where's my Business Suite app to be able to answer that? Or somebody texts you and you're in the middle of, watching a YouTube video, and then you're like, oh, where do I go for this? So this solves for all of that. It streamlines that communication, and it then logs that with that client so that you have that when you go to look at a communication history with a client. Maybe somebody said, hey, I need 20 XLs and 5 2Xs, and you produce that, and they're like, no, I said I need 5 XLs and 20 2Xs. And you can go back and very, very easily be able to say, nope, this is our line of communication, and this is what you said. It's kind of like throwing the red flag in those commercials, right?
Yep. I need a replay. Yes, here's your replay for it. It's just in something like that. Just like you said, the universal inbox where you can do all of your communications from one channel and then have a log of it. I mean, that in itself, that seems like that would be saving a lot of time. And when I gain time back, that means I can hit my goals faster, right?
Yep, absolutely. AI can certainly, you kind of alluded to this a moment ago. AI can certainly help with all of that social media content creation. I was just working on a tool earlier today that's called HeyGen, HEYGEN, and it basically creates an avatar where you just send it. So check this out, guys. You can take and create using a prompt in ChatGPT, you can create a message that you want to be able to send to somebody, and maybe you want to be able to send it at scale, right? So you're going to send it to a lot of different people, and then take it over and have it put it into HeyGen, and it will create that message as if it were you sending it to everybody.
Yeah.
We've kind of talked about bits and pieces, but when you start to talk about like the entire process of how this thing can work, man, that's wild. I literally created from zero, not knowing how to use that platform at all. In about 2.5 hours, I went from nothing, just logging in, to being able to create that. Get out of here. Sorry. My dog is like literally right here. And to be able to create that, this was a welcome message that will go out to new people that are coming on board with us. So I apologize.
So Bob, we're winding down here. So I'm going to have everybody, if you have any questions on AI or anything that we talked about, put them down in here. I know there are already somebody there, so we're going to go back to it. And I'm going to put in the link here and show that to where you can go in and get our prompt from. But on something like that, when you're creating that, is that something if somebody signs up with our system that's included with it, or is that something that's an extra expense with it? Or I know we haven't talked much about it. But I know we're going to have different tiers, but is that a service that we're going to be able to offer through there?
Yeah, so HeyGen and some of those tools are additional tools. I was using the free version. They've got a free version on there. So in a lot of the times when I talk about a tool in front of an audience like this, I'm going to talk about something that at least has a free version. So you're not having to go out and pay for something extra. You can at least explore it, play around with it for a bit, without having to invest more money. There are ways that you can tie it into the platform, but this I was using as a standalone tool to kind of play along with it. But let's I can't even talk. Let's dive into some of these comments and see if we can add some context or some answers to some of these.
Yep. So first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Here's where you can go and get that prompt.
Yes.
You go to betterwithmarketing.com/master prompt. Fill out the information. That prompt will be promptly emailed to you. Guess what? AI took care of all that automation. So that's where you want to get it. I know somebody else had said earlier about art and trying to do things. Now, one of the people that I go with is Marshall Atkinson. I feel he is really in tune with working with Midjourney and how it can work there. So he has got a newsletter that he puts out. I think it's like $12 a month, $100 a year. Go here and check that out. It gives you step-by-step prompts with it, shows you things for it. A lot of great information in that. I don't get any kickback on it yet. He needs to have an affiliate, but you can just let him know that, hey, I'm here. And guess what, Linda? I just saw that you went ahead and filled out that lead form because I got the lead that says that it was there, that it was done. So see, that's how all of this works out for it. So let's go back up here and we're going to see, was there one that you saw started it at all, or for questions in there? Let's see. Let's see. I like technology, but I have seen less and less in-person communication. And see, I've seen it both ways where COVID helped change the way that we do things, because a lot more people are apt to, instead of coming in person, I can hop on a Zoom with you real quick. We can talk about it there. And we're doing a lot more of that where, before it was meetings, phone calls, not real sure with it. With Zoom, I'm able to get on, I'm able to show, hey, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm seeing. Does this work for you? So I've seen, kind of both sides of it, where not so much in person, but, face to face through a video conferencing service like this. So let's see, what else do we have up here for it? Let's see. And Barb says, I'm thinking seeing an AI mower trying to mow a hilly field. I've seen it. I've seen a couple people do it on TikTok, because there was about 2 months ago where there was an AI challenge on TikTok with people using AI for various things. And there was a ton of robot lawnmowers that were just streaming. These people were making thousands a day with the robots just streaming and doing their job. It was crazy for it. Diana, I suck at email marketing. No longer. We will help you get there. And that's one of the things that, when you sign up with our marketing service, we can help with it. Loving automation. I love it too. Loving automation. It helps us out so much by taking care of those remedial tasks that we don't need to do. Let's see. Dinah says, that's what I need. Something to make me sound smart. I'm telling you, with these prompts, it'll give you a good base for it. And like I said, coming from that, something that we do is we've got different prompts for different things. Like we've got of this first batch that'll be coming out, there's going to be 100 total prompts. And so we're going to break it down in a couple different batches of a batch of 50, a batch of 100, and then the library. So anytime we add new ones, you'll just get it right there. And there's a ton of different sales situations where you can use it to create different things. Let's see. And Barb makes a great point here. When creating content, you need to understand your client's needs. Creating content is a good tool for upselling. Absolutely it is. And that's what we're using it for. As we got into talk about this, like this morning, Bob and I had no idea that we were going to have that we were giving away a prompt today, and that way we're going to build a sales funnel off of that prompt with upsells on the back end. And it all happened, within an hour beforehand for it. And Jerry said, how do we learn those prompts? Guess what, Jerry? You got access to it. And how do I know? Because Jerry just filled out the form, and she now has that base one for it. And Diana says, my mind goes quicker than my typing can keep up. It's hard to tell what I'm trying to say. Hey, guess what? Pretty soon, we're not even going to be typing things anymore. Everything's just going to be voice to text, right? As it learns you more, it learns what you say, how you're saying it. And yeah, everything's going to be voice to text eventually anyway. And
let me hop in on that one for a second.
Go for it.
That is a great advantage of using like ChatGPT on your phone. Now, in my office, I have a full studio set up. I have a microphone and cameras and all that type of stuff, right? Just like Todd does. But oftentimes, you're on the fly. You can use the microphone on your phone to talk to ChatGPT. There's actually whole segments of the population now that will have ongoing conversations. People will talk with ChatGPT as if they're having a conversation, and because it'll speak to you in voice, and you can speak back to it as well. So that part is fairly new in the last, I'd say, 90 to 120 days, where that's become a thing. But just kind of like, using speak to talk or speak to text, if you're creating a text message or an email or something like that, it's going to do the same thing. But here you're going to go from just a simple dictation to something that's going to provide even more information for you. One big change that you guys are all starting to experience, and the more you start using services like ChatGPT, the more that you're going to realize that you're going to go to that for your searches. So instead of going to Google and having to kind of sort through or sift through all the results that you get, you can literally ask ChatGPT, hey, what's whatever, pick the question, and you'll get an actual answer out of it. That's going to change the way search works a lot. And I don't want to go off on that tangent too much, but that will be a big change that comes in the next, probably in the next year. You'll see a massive shift in that, and that'll affect the way websites work and things too.
100% to that. Now, Barb made a question. It said, could you use GPT or ChatGPT to create a list of marketing prompts? Absolutely, you could. You can create a whole. Why can I not
create a whole business off of
it? The marketing campaign. Here, I need a 60-day marketing campaign, and what you want to do with it, where you want to post it, where you want to do it, and it will create all of that info for you. What do you got smiles over there for? There was another comment.
Oh man, I'm laughing at Diana's comment about, oh yes, I'm in heaven with voice to text.
We have
an Alexa in every room in our house, good or bad. It's in every room in our house now, and but every now we don't have a big house. We have a small house. And every now and then, it will pick up the question in one room, and the number one thing. And if you guys have Alexa, you know this, and that's that if you try to cancel a timer, right? Yeah. So now the timer will be going off in the kitchen, and you're in the kitchen, but the one in the living room hears it, and all of a sudden you're yelling, you're like screaming at your house to shut off a stupid timer. Or my wife, Alexa doesn't, for whatever reason, always recognize my wife's voice. So she'll be like, hey, turn on the basement, which is to turn on the lights in the basement. And I laugh because I could just picture this going on in other people's home. She's like yelling at it to turn on the lights. Yeah. We've gotten so bad. We can't just walk over and flip a switch, which would be solve the problem. No, we yell at this stupid thing. So, anyway, I hope you guys find that as funny as I do. So,
thinking of Alexa, one of the things that, especially on AI and marketing things is, think about how that works. You're going to sit there and, Alexa, call me a plumber, Alexa, I need this. And that's all part of AI where, when you get up there in the Google rankings with things, that's where it's going to go. It's going to go those first ones. So when, somebody says, I need to make t-shirts, I need to make that, AI is going to help you be high ranking up there. So that way you're the one that gets called on it. Now, both it's the, what do we have here? It looks, Diana said, a lot of her customers text her, especially like companies. And Barb says, Diana, a lot of my customers text me too. So, in that universal inbox, everything would go right through there. So, I mean, if you got a lot of channels where people are placing orders from or contacting you through websites, through, Facebook messages or Instagram messages or text, emails, that's going to be a great place for you to have for something like that. Because Barb did say that there's an SMS add-on for Microsoft Outlook that allows you to send and receive SMS messages in Microsoft Outlook. The add-on can send SMS reminders from your calendar, appointments, and meetings. Now, since I don't know a whole lot about that one, Barb, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know how much that costs? Because, as we were going through things, and that's not something that we really touched on tonight, but a lot of these add-on services, they do cost you money. Like, if we look at MailChimp that you're going to run an email campaign through, sure, there are some free options for it, but they're not very robust. You can't send a whole lot through it. But if you want to use it, you're going to be spending, for us, it's right about $100 a month for it, where that's what it was. Using Repurpose, that was $50 a month. Using Buffer, that was $20 a month. Using Canva, because we can use that to schedule stuff, that's, what is that, $12 a month. So when you start looking at all of these services that you can use, but you're going through different platforms, you can easily be spending $200-$300 a month, but because they're such smaller amounts that under $50 ones, you don't realize how much you're actually spending on the stuff. And that's something that we really like with this platform is, yes, it's going to be $300 a month, $297. So it's not $300, $297, right? You're getting everything in one spot, and you're able to do it without a whole lot of limitations like they had on the other one for it. So go ahead while I look and see we pull up another one from here. So now kind of getting your questions, because we got about maybe another 10 minutes on it.
Yeah. Can you pull up that one by T-Town asking about he gets the phone calls all the time?
Yep, right here. I get a phone call all the time where they want me to help set up the voice parts of search. Is that a thing, or is that something Google does?
Yeah. So honestly, it's a marketing scam. I fell for it. I spent, I don't know, my wife's not in the room now, so I can tell you guys, I spent like $750 to get registered, supposedly get registered on for Alexa or whatever it was. And then I was going through a service that we offer through the platform. It's a service called Yext. You guys can go out and find it outside of the platform. It's more expensive. We have an agreement with them that allows it to be quite a bit cheaper. But Yext, if you register with Yext, it'll go out and we charge $100 a month for it, but it'll go out and not only Google, but Alexa, Apple, all of those, and get you registered on all of those platforms, so that when somebody asks, for T-shirts near me or whatever, pick the thing, you'll show up in those results then. And like I said, I spent $750, and that was an annual fee just for Alexa, I believe. So I kind of, it worked. I mean, we showed up in it, but then I found, $100 a month, we were on 100 different platforms. It was a no-brainer with our tool. But that's, is it a scam? No. Does it work? Yes. Is it crazy expensive when those people call you? Yes. So that's the long and the short of that one for you there, T-Town. Let's see, there was something else I saw in here too that was pretty interesting.
Well, Jerry asked, is ChatGPT a good program to start with for graphics? There's a good handful of AI design product, design software design. What's the best word to use for that? I should probably ask, what the best word to use.
Platforms, maybe.
Platforms, yeah, platforms. But there's a lot of them, and it seems like there's more and more that are coming along with it, with the different ones, because AI is ever changing so fast. Which maybe that's something, next month we're going to have Bob on here talking about using VAs. So, I mean, the other thing we could talk about too, because I know we should put it on the list, is probably, the design, the AI design platforms, because a lot of us have them and we don't even realize it. If you're using Adobe, it's in there. So you're able to have AI in it. If you're using Canva, it's in there and you're able to use it. So maybe we could, that might be another Tuesday with Todd to talk about, different versions of AI platforms for design work in it. So good question on that, Jerry.
Jerry, and to help answer that a little bit, if you're looking, it can absolutely be used for that. Will it create great vector graphics? Not yet. Is it coming? I think so. Yeah. But whether you're using what's it called through here? Hang on one second, I'll tell you. Whether you're using Dolly or you're using Midjourney, I'd say those are the two best right now for creating graphics. Again, once you learn how to create those prompts, I'd say you can probably create some pretty amazing things. I mean, there's kids. My son, he's 8 years old, and earlier today, he sent me this. It was a really cool design of a guy playing soccer that would make a great T-shirt graphic. So it's out there. It's just, again, a little bit of learning. ChatGPT, if you pay for the premium version, it's $20 a month, so it's super cheap. But that stuff is getting built into a lot of the tools that we're already using.
Yep. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that. AI is going to get incorporated into a lot more things. And that's why I had posted that link to for Marshall. He's got, for his stuff for Midjourney, is just the step-by-step, the things that it shows. You'll learn a ton with that one for it. But
Yep.
Looking like we're in here, it looks like we're caught up on stuff. So,
Yeah.
With that, like I said, here's the link right here, betterwithmarketing.com/master prompt. Go there. It's free. You'll get the master prompt. You get some tools on how to talk to ChatGPT, because there's different ways that to ask questions. There's different ways to say it, because you can write in a different style of a different voice of. I use it a lot just for kind of not stupid things, but kind of stupid things. Like maybe I want to create this fun question for somebody, or this funny email or text, or even anything really. And there's different ways to do it. So asking just for different variations of things. Maybe you want the same information, but I want it in 5-10 different variations, because I can use that same content to put over a few different ways. So there's a lot of different things to use it for. And I think you just need to get in there and do it. Bob, any final words of wisdom on somebody using AI to reach their goals in 2024?
Just dive in.
Yep.
You can't screw it up. This isn't like the old days where you can crash your computer. Get in, dive in, play with it, and go with the theme of more in 24.
More in 24. I love that. Now, on that note, Bob, I'm kicking you in the green room. We'll have Bob back out here February 13th. At that time, we'll figure out, is it going to be VAs or something else? But Bob, thanks for joining us tonight. And I'm going to send you to the green room right now. And there you go. All right. Another fun marketing one. Like I said, we do these once a month, second Tuesday of the month. So the next one will be February 13th, and we will be talking some sort of marketing, most likely with AI, one way or another. Don't forget, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do Morning Mindset right here, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And next Tuesday with Todd is going to be another crafternoon. We are going to be making hair bows. We'll learn how to make hair bows. We've got Cindy in here talking hair bows. Look for that material list to be posted this week so you can join along. And hey, have a drink. I'm not doing any Grinch punts. That was horrible last time, so I'm not sure what the girls will make this time, but we're going to be making bows together. So with that, you guys have an amazing night. Thank you so much once again for joining us, because we always have a blast when we do these. Peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time.